Peace and love, y'all. It's your brother A.D.V.I.S. here with another installment of more interviews, aka Memoirs of Our Real Experiences. And for today's memoirs, we have the brother Big Serbs, aka Evil Emperor Serbs, in the building. So, again, with this series, it's always going to be a live series. So, if y'all have any questions for the artists, the poets, anyone who is here being interviewed for today, please put them down in the comments. We're going to get to them. While at the same time, go check these people out. Again, this is the brother Big Serbs. We're going to be getting into some talk about, again, creative process, self-image, Greenlight 3, anything else pertaining to that. Again, you guys can add your content or add any questions that come along. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce the brother that got a style that keeps you up and running when he be shooting these rounds. I want to bring the brother Big Serbs to the building. And shouts out to every one of y'all that's coming up in here too, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate y'all coming in, displaying this.
Ah, damn.
Yo, yo.
Got me looking out the window and shit.
Over here, mad thinking, contemplating life right now, man.
That's fucking hilarious, bro. How you been?
Living and learning, brother, man. I'm grateful for being here, man. Super busy, but again, I'd rather be that than anything else.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's
What
what's
about
up.
you?
I've been good, man. Just hella busy, man. Every weekend, just outside doing some shit, just staying busy, staying productive, man. Staying positive.
That's what I'm talking about, man. And yeah, y'all, if y'all don't know who this is, again, this is Big Serbs, aka Evil Emperor Serbs. There's so much AKAs this brother goes by, but I want, again, y'all have questions, please put them down in the comments. But before we begin, brother, is there any questions, comments, concerns, or anything that you want to plug before starting?
Um, I got a show next Friday. If anyone is around the local IE in Ontario, I will be at Firewater Bar for Chicano Syndicate. They're having an album called El Sindicato Volume 1. Unfortunately, I'm not on it. I would have loved to have been on it, but that's all. The homies are going to be throwing a show. That's going to be for the listening party. So I'm going to be opening up. I'm going to be the first act of the night. So if anyone wants to pull up, show support for me and the homies, let's run it.
There it is. Anything else?
Nothing much, man. Just working with the music, the podcast. I got like 5 episodes loaded up, ready to go. I've been mastering Greenlight 3. I'm on like the last song to master right now, and then I'll probably add like some skits and stuff. What time? I'll probably be on around like 9. Yeah, I forgot to say that. Probably like 9, around 9:30. So pull up, man. I'm gonna be performing pretty much like the whole first half of Greenlight 3. I want to dedicate my set. So like whoever's there, like that'll be like you'll get the Greenlight 3, the live experience. You know, like you'll hear the album live type shit.
Okay. That's mad dope.
Yeah, honestly it took 3 months, not like, you know, to like with the 333 type shit. I feel like that's like the number 3 is kind of like a prevalent number in my life.
Okay.
But it took 3 months. It took 3 months pretty much like to make the beats and the rhymes. Like the whole thing is produced by me.
Okay.
I mean,
you're already getting into the questions, but go for it.
Yeah. You know, like I'll say around probably like February, I started really diving deep into my production and taking a step up with kind of just manipulating, warping the samples and putting like drums to them. For like years, I would only do loops just because I wouldn't know how to program the drums. But now that I know how to do that, I've been going crazy, just buying a shitload of sample packs, beat packs, drum packs. And so I took a trip to Vegas to do the Pokemon Go shit.
Oh
They had a
wow.
big event in Vegas. So I'm in Vegas and I do the event, and then that night, um, I had made like 6 beats like in a row. Like I was just trying to do as much like dope beats as I could in one night. I had like John Wick in the background. They had like John Wick on. So it was like the whole vibes was like there for me to just make all these beats. And somewhere in that, I was like, you know what? I need to make a whole album produced by me again because I've done 2 other projects that I fully produced
Yeah.
myself. The first one was La Merca Superior, the EP.
Okay.
That was like in 2018. And that only had like 2 songs, 3 beats, so like 5 tracks. And then uh well, actually, there was another one, but actually, the fully produced by me, nah. Like, it's actually only been 2. That one and this one I've been working on.
Okay.
So, um, it was just the whole process was me making the beats and then rapping. Like, I would be like, these are like 2 fires. So then I just started rapping over them. And then somewhere in that, it was like, okay, like Greenlight 3, where's the other 2? So the
Yeah.
first Greenlight is on my YouTube. The second one I put on SoundCloud, but I accidentally deleted it. So it's kind of like no one can really hear Greenlight 2 now. It's like, God damn, I have some of them beats, but I don't think I have the whole, I probably do have all the beats, but I don't remember like in what sequence they went.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do my best to kind of find those at some point and then put it out again on YouTube. So this is the third rendition of Greenlight 3. The first 2 were beats only. So the first one came. Greenlight actually was a joke. There's a place called Greenlight Insurance next to A.D.V.I.S. discount
Okay.
somewhere fucking, I don't know, I forgot where, but I remember my cousin, he's like, he's kind of like in the whole gang shit. So
Yeah.
he was like, what? He was looking at Greenlight Insurance. He was like, what? Greenlight Insurance? What? Like, as like a street, like if you don't know street slang, a green light is like, you know, you don't want a green light put on you because that's not good. But he was like, there's a green light insurance next to a DD's discount. You get a discount on the green light. Like, I don't know. It was like a stupid little
Yeah.
joke that I thought it was funny at the time. So that actually became a project that I worked on, all beats. And his son, my nephew, Lil Joey, that was like dedicated to him. So
Yes.
that was in May of 2017, 18. It's kind of been a while now. Then the second one came out like the year, like in 2019, that summer or something like that. And
Mm.
I don't know what, I don't know what possessed me to make like the third one with just like all like rhymes with it too, like all songs. But it was just kind of like, there was a lot of things like, there's a lot of things that have gone on in my life and shit like that. And it was just like, I don't know, the move for me because I couldn't name, like some rappers, they be naming their albums all types of weird shit, like not a shit on nobody, but it'd be like, I don't
Yeah.
know, Gulliver's Travels of the Dark Side of the fucking something, or all extra out titles. I just wanted to make it real simple. I didn't want like anybody to think like, oh, like fucking this is like gonna be super sophisticated, like just Greenlight 3, like boom, this is the third rendition. This is the pinnacle of all my beats that I feel like I've refined over the years. So this is pretty much the album that is like the best work that I've done for sure. And that's what this album is.
Okay. And I love how, again, you just jump right in. You don't even, you was like, man, y'all gonna find out who I am by me talking about what we gonna talk about. But before, and I appreciate it, brother, because there is gonna be a section we're gonna go back and talk a bit more about it. But I know somebody has a question in here about, you said that you perform around 9ish, but what time does the whole performance, like for the whole show, when does it start?
I think they're doing open mic at 7:30 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Four,
But with
four
that,
syllables or less. for a catchy title. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And with that being said, let's go ahead. For those, and let's get, we already here, but let's just go ahead and get it. So for those, if this is their first time being introduced to you, knowing who you are and things of all of that sort, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your background?
Oh yeah, man. I'm originally born around LA. I was raised around LA. And then kind of like I stayed over here in Ontario for like pretty much my whole life. But I would definitely consider myself like definitely LA County raised. Like not like LA's a big city, but I wasn't
Yes.
raised in LA. Like definitely like LA County. You know, we're talking like Baldwin Park, El Monte, West Covina, Chino, Pomona. Like there's a whole like I can't even really claim one city except Ontario because I've lived here for so long. I've made so many connections here. I pretty much went like at the last phase of like high school here. So pretty much like this is like headquarters for me. But
Mm,
I was raised all around, bro. Like, you know, that's just what it is.
okay. I'm with it. All right. Giving y'all that bit of the background again, but for those who are not LA natives or know LA in those particular ways, it's like at least 80 something cities together that make up the Los Angeles County. So that's when people be like, "Oh yeah, where are you from?" And that's why most people say Los Angeles. But for those who
Yeah,
know, there's more than just that.
yeah.
And shouts out to 60 East in the building as well too.
Hell
Again, that's
yeah, bro.
another brother,
Salute.
mad
Shout
dope.
out to 60 East.
But with that being said, giving us that background and sharing a bit about where now let's go a little bit further back and let's speak about who was Big Serbs as a child growing up.
As a kid, I was probably like a fucking crybaby, real emotional. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I was probably like, my parents like, they worked a lot, so it was kind of like I was home. Like I had to get taken care of by either my grandma or my tia. That's why I hopped around so many places because my parents were always working and they were
Mm-hmm.
always, you know, so they didn't really have time to take care of me um, while they were working. So a large part of my time was spent like either with my other family or a lot of times like I was alone and that kind of like uh, it made me fall into many pitfalls of being just young
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just running around in the street as a kid. Um, but as a little kid, it was kind of like regular kid life. Parents always working. I was with grandma, probably watching Looney Tunes or some Robin Big or some shit later on. You know what I mean? Definitely, I didn't get in a no street shit until I was like definitely in junior high school. I talk about it in my music. I would go into the tunnels. Me and my cousins, we would fucking paint in the tunnels. That was like my thing. When people say like I was in the streets,
Yeah.
people think either like dealing drugs or getting into like some gangster shit.
Yeah.
That wasn't some of those elements were around me growing up, but for me personally it was more so like graffiti, uh,
Mm-hmm.
petty theft, you know, just not no crazy shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was the kind of like my whole thing was like self expression, definitely art. That was what I was really into um, when I was younger, definitely in my teens. Just being rebellious, mad at the world, angry and shit. Obviously as a kid, you don't know shit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, and you think you have everything figured out. So it's kind of like that was me just feeling like real misunderstood. And then also too, I was moving around a lot as a kid too. So that kind of frustrated me that, I would be in school and these fools they would have friends that they've known since they were like in diapers and at K2
Yeah.
or what do you call it, preschool or
Preschool.
kindergarten. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
me, it was none of that shit, man. I probably knew most of the homies and shit for like only 4 years type, you know. So I felt like I never really got that respect or that connection with nobody growing up because it's like we didn't know we didn't know each other as long as like they're other homies and shit. But just like learning how to adapt and to like survive and like that kind of made me like a social butterfly and like kind of
Mm,
work with people because like I know like I probably in the back of my head I was like I probably won't know you for more than like a year or something, so we might as well just keep it real light, you know what I mean, like fuck it, like, you know, that's kind of like in a nutshell my childhood for sure.
I appreciate the background, the history, as well as the openness and the awareness of knowing,
Oh
why
yeah.
some of the certain things that was done is because of that. I will say this: when doing a lot of these interviews, there are a lot of very similar experiences that's had with a lot of artists that shapes them into the art that they get into. So speaking of that experience as a kid and having that, and I know you were going out doing the graffiti and really running the streets, but not in that particular way, but we're around that. So what inspired you to start making music actually?
I've always loved it. You know, it was definitely like just the whole because I was always like kind of like you probably know as a man like you can't really show emotion, like you're supposed to be a man, you're supposed to hold it together, only like women and children are allowed that luxury of being like whatever the fuck, like whatever emotional shit. So I feel like music, it always brought out that fire, and it always like made me like I don't know, it like it sparked something in me, and I was just always passionate with music. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people probably wouldn't know, but I was actually like super into like metal and like rock and roll music as a youngster, as well as like norteño, corrido,
Oh,
Spanish
okay.
music, like Los Tucanes de Tijuana, just like a real dichotomy of music. Because if you listen to like corrido, that's like more chill,
Okay.
more like mellow, and heavy metal, like System of a Down, Rage Against the Machine, is real up, it's real. So you had those dynamics that I would listen to, and my uncle, being on the West Coast is kind of like I see a lot of people they like embody that West Coast sound because a lot of people out here they listen to the Snoops, the Dre's, West Side Connection,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. I listen to that too, but my uncle, our whole family thing was like with him and all my other uncles was like the East Coast was like the jewels, like the gems. Like no one's
Mm,
bumping really Wu-Tang out here. No one's really bumping like Redman or Black Moon, like real
okay.
underground East Coast stuff. Like no one, like you even ask somebody like about Black Moon and shit
Yeah.
now, and it's like, what, you know about that shit? Like that's that shit, bro. Um, so it was kind of like getting into music. That was really what my influence was. As soon as my uncle would pick me up from school, sometimes
Yeah.
I just got bit by that hip hop bug. And you can even ask my dad too, like around like second grade, I would bump 50
Okay.
Cent Massacre, like a totally inappropriate album, like a second grader should be
uh
bumping,
clickety
PIMP.
clack, clickety clack. The money goes into
The
my
guns come
piggy
out.
bank. Yeah, guns come out. Oh, bro, that beat though. But yeah, I hear you. That's wow. That's hilarious. But yes,
Yeah, so getting into music, you I didn't think I'd be fucking rapping and producing and shit.
yeah.
As a kid, my dad always wanted me to do, because you got to understand, like my family, we came from migrant farmers in the fields picking strawberries.
Mm,
So very, very like humble beginnings. And my dad, he was a mechanic. He's a mechanic now. He's a manager at Metro, all the Metro, the buses and all that shit. You know
yeah.
what I mean? My dad's a manager over there. He always wanted me to do better than him, be a lawyer, be a doctor, something like that. But I didn't, in school, I quickly found out I didn't give a fuck about none of that shit. I didn't care about
Mm,
two, one subject that I was like really good at was English. Like
okay.
English for some reason I excelled at in writing too. So just kind of like me being good as a writer in class, coupled with the fact that I was really into music, it was kind of like it was coming into it was gonna form into something that
Yeah.
I didn't know. My homie was a rapper, and I told him, you know what I mean? I got a laptop, I got GarageBand, so fucking come through and like maybe we could get something, you know, some music going on. And I didn't even know that was called producing. I didn't know having the laptop, GarageBand, getting the beat, you know what I mean, recording them, engineering. Like I didn't know I was doing that. I was to me it was just like my homie. He wants to rap. He wants to do a song.
Yeah.
So let's just fucking do a song. And that's pretty much what ended up happening. I had a homie that wanted to do a song. He rhymed over the Ignorance is Bliss by Kendrick
Kendrick
Lamar.
Lamar.
And yeah, and still at that point, I didn't even think I was going to be rapping until he was like, yo, you know, you should rap. Like, you should, you know, he never heard me rhyme. I never wrote nothing, you
Yeah.
know. Or actually, in 2012, my cousin Mufasa, shout out to him, he would,
Shots
he
out.
actually, yeah, shout out to him. He rapped, but it was like, him like he's a super dope graffiti writer and he's a great rapper. So my cousin is actually somebody I look up to growing
Mm.
up. And you always need them role models. You know, you need the positive
Yes.
role models. And he definitely, as far as that goes with artistic expression, that was something that like I would follow his lead with.
Mm-hmm.
So he introduced me to like Nas. He introduced me like Heavy and the Red Man. You know, if he was in the black book with the you know, making, you know, tags or whatever it is, I got a black book. I started doing the graffiti shit heavy.
Yeah.
Um and he was on and off. He's always been on and off with the music shit kind of. But as soon as my homie, he needed some place to record, and we started recording together. It was like I wrote so many fucking rhymes before I even recorded a
Mm.
song. The first song I recorded was fucking trash. I'll never put that shit out. Like my first mixtape and shit like that, all that shit was trash. Ain't nobody gonna hear that shit. You know, that's why I kind of think it's weird when rappers be like, "Yeah, my first song was the shit. My first song was dope." It's like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, really? Like, I probably no shit. I probably have like hundreds and hundreds of songs like that. No one's probably heard because like
They were on SoundCloud and then magically got disappeared and deleted.
I fucking my first mixtape was on fucking MediaFire. Does anyone know MediaFire? That's the where
Of course.
you upload a whole album and people could just download it. Like you share the link.
Yep.
SoundCloud was popping too, but it was like I wanted at that time you couldn't download songs on SoundCloud. So I'm like, yo, you just get at my MediaFire and you just download the whole thing and you can have it. Like, why fuck around? Um, so that was my first mixtape, and it was just I never stopped. Like I've only thought about quitting 2 times seriously, but this music shit is like it's like therapy for me. It's like
Yeah.
I think I would go crazy if I didn't make music. To be honest with you.
That's real. And I mean, speaking of, you know, the music and having those influences and people around you, I have some more, of course, some more questions for you. One of them that popped up because you were already naming some of them, so I was like, let's go with this. So, from your style and how you equate and put things together, who would you say were your influences growing up?
Man, so many of them. I'm definitely like a gumbo pot of like everybody I've listened to. Like, there's no rapper. Like, I can't pinpoint a rapper and be like, yeah, this fool. I got 80% of my style from him. It was just like I take a little bit. I take a pinch of Snoop. I take a pinch of Easy. But what I definitely gravitated to was more the East Coast style, but
Yes.
that just doesn't mean that, you know, I love NWA. The first two albums my dad ever bought me was Black Sunday by Cypress Hill and
Okay.
Straight Outta Compton by NWA. So it was like getting high and fucking fuck the police. All like that was my first two albums.
Wow.
Um, so like, but as I'm writing and shit, I mean, I could be here all day talking about who like definitely moved my pen, but I'll say like for sure, Makami is like as far as like how intricate, how lyrical, and how I feel like Makami is the perfect rapper because he could fucking sing. He has really dope beats
Mm.
and just his whole aesthetic and everything. Like I love Makami. His music is fucking phenomenal for sure. Like his first album HBO is like it's crazy to me because I feel like before like Haitians were like really known for oh like watch out for them Haitians, like you know what I mean, like Haitians I felt like
Yeah.
they didn't really get the respect that they deserve, but as soon as My Kami came out it was like it put like a battery in my back or something to where it was something much needed, and with him
Okay.
representing his culture and where he's from, that made me want to go and explore my roots and my culture and where I'm from. I'm like, oh, if it's cool to be Haitian because of I want it to be, I want it to be cool to be Mexican for my people, and that's kind of like where I want to take it. So definitely my commie for sure, Griselda, yeah. As of recently,
Okay. Man, that's dang. Yeah, salute. Yeah, salute to Makami, salute
all
to
the
Griselda
souls
and
out there,
all of
man.
those. Yeah, man, for real. And my brother back down over here is saying, "Oh yeah, man, it's not too late to be a lawyer too if you want. You know, rappers need lawyers as well." Y'all, you are hilarious, man. But also, my man, is I share the same sentiment with you when it comes to going outside of someone actually showing pride within, the culture and where they came from, which then prompted, you to go deep into wanting to get to know that and learn about your culture. I had to say, shouts out to all my Hawaiians and folks who's out over in Hawaii,
Mhm.
especially out on Oahu. I went to the Iolani Palace when I first went to Hawaii, and I got such a culture shock just going to that museum and just learning the history that it just made me have such a better appreciation, not only just for just overall world history, but then after that, I'm like, yo, I need to go back and then touch back in with my roots. So
Mhm.
I agree with you on that sentiment, my man. And if I didn't get this clear, let me make sure I did. So you gave us a lot of inspirations and why you started music, but when was the point, like if you have a year or what age or what song or anything that at that point you was like okay, I'm gonna take this more seriously,
More
making music.
seriously, or just
Yeah.
like when I started?
So more so when you took it seriously, because we talked about when you started making music. You kind of like told me in between here
Yeah.
and there where, but like, have you gotten to the point where you're like, you know what, I'm actually going to put some more time into this craft?
Definitely like 2015. That's when I
Okay.
came out with my first song. Um,
Mm.
and it was just on and popping. It's crazy. Like March 1st, 2015 was the first song I ever put out.
Okay.
I had been making beats, I had been making music, but from the first song, it was kind of like I really liked it. I made a second song. I liked it, but then I was like, I need to get better. The third song I made, I liked it, but then I got to
Mm-hmm.
get better. So it was just me trying to like reach this because I had this delusional thought. I'm like, I'm still in high school, so I'm like, if if um if I could blow up like Joey Badass, if I could make it big before
Mm.
I graduate, that was like a delusional ass thought. Like it takes a whole bunch of steps to get to that level and a whole lot of luck too. Like at that age,
Yeah.
like all the fucking stars have to line up and like Haley's Comet and all this other fucking shit. I swear to God, yo, really like in high school to be cause Joey Badass he blew up when he was like what 17 or some shit. Like that's mad. That's mad young, bro. Like the last time that happened to anybody was like Nas. It's the only one Mobb Deep. You know, they were like teenagers. They were still in their late teens when they first got on. You know,
Yeah.
so um, that was just my whole thing. Taking it seriously, 2015, and then just trying to progressively get better and better and better. The first year of me starting to making music, I put out 9 mixtapes. 9 mixtapes.
What?
That's how hard I was. That's how seriously I took it, bro. Like, you know,
But how many tracks per mixtape? Because I'm just like, what?
around. Okay, so the first one was 25.
Wait, tracks?
Yeah, the first mixtape was 25, and that came out in October. And I'll put almost one mixtape out every month. But
Oh, wow.
definitely like around 8 to 10 tracks each. So in the first year alone of me rapping, I put out like 150 songs, something like that. You know, I'm not gonna lie and tell you I'm Gucci Mane. I made 1,000 songs in like one
No.
fucking month or something, but definitely like,
Dang, salute to
definitely
the
would.
hustle.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mean to give you, I was gonna give you that look like you. I'm just like, yo, man, like you wasn't playing. That first year was like, I got something to tell y'all. And I'm gonna tell y'all through all these 9 mixtapes. And when you said the first one was 25 tracks, I'm like, yo, what you trying to make this a double disc? Almost try to do the midnight shift like E40, like have three different double discs on this or something? What's up?
Yeah, for real. Fucking a 25 track album's probably like a triple disc now in this era.
Yeah, bruh. But no, that's really dope, man. That's something I need to really pay back attention to, because I will say the first mixtape that I did, it was close to about like 20 something tracks as well too. So I think we start
Those are
off.
dinosaurs. Those are dinosaur ages now, dude. I'll never put out nothing, nothing more than 12.
Yeah,
You know,
but again, so yeah, salutes to you for that, my man.
I
My
appreciate it.
goodness.
I was
All
literally
right,
in school. I had nothing else better to do. Like I was just, that was a real pivotal time in my life too, where it was like a whole bunch of shit going on. Um, you know, at that time, you know, 2 of my best friends had committed suicide. So that was like
mm,
a super big, like, like, it really brought like all those emotions out. And like literally, like those 9 mixtapes were just like, it was just wild. Like my whole thought process back then was just like all over the place. Like I was just like emotional and
mm,
just it all like, I don't even know how to describe it, dog, because it's like been so long since then.
yeah,
But just, you know, that's kind of like they're always like they'll always be with me. And like if I wasn't like they'll always be with me. And if they were here, like I would want them to listen to like the music. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like with me. So I feel like that's like a big reason why I was going so stupid with it, because it was like fuck, like, you know, the time is now. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like fucking, you know, shit was just wild.
Again, I appreciate it, man, and it's very, very, very dope to also hear, that being the outlet, as well as just the intentionality behind making the music too.
Hmm.
For those that passed on and just wanted to give, really, when making the stuff. I know it's like a cathartic you know process for you to be able to process the stuff, but at the same time to be able to like give that out and show it in a musical form. Very,
Yeah,
very.
it's like fuck, I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say already. It's it's just like it's like I don't. Some people make music because they want money or they want girls. They want like that. Those are all bullshit reasons that no one gives a fuck about. Like
Yeah.
me, I feel like if I don't make music, I feel like I'm just gonna like explode or something like that. Like I have to release this shit. Like I have to get it out. Like
Mm,
like I don't know if you know Rab's Lane, Jessica Rabbit.
no.
She be around. Uh, she works like in the industry and stuff, but she was talking to me, I think yesterday at 909 Day, and she was like, what's the next level for you? And
Yeah.
I thought she was being genuine, like, what's the next level? And I'm like, well, fucking, I don't know. Like, I don't care. Like, cause I'm not looking at my career or whatever in levels, like, oh, I'm at this level and
Mm,
this is the next level.
mm,
And then I'm going to get to that. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, whether fame or any of that shit comes, like, I could care less, bro. Cause that's not what I'm doing it for. That's that's not what I started doing it for. You know, yeah, I'm not like if you're really here to like make music to make money, you're not gonna make much at all. In my whole fucking I don't know how long has it been? Almost 9 years of me rapping. I
yeah.
probably only made like $250.
Mm,
So you do the math on that one, but it's really not. It's really not lucrative as some people would try to make it out. My cousin, you know, he was really like uh selling dope, had some money, and he was like, how much is it to make a studio and all that? And I'm like, well, just really depends on what you're looking for, but it's probably gonna cost like everything and shit, like some good equipment, probably around like 5 grand.
yeah.
And he was like, well, fucking, he's like, well, what if we just like make a hit song and like we fucking get all this money or some shit? And I'm like, well, it kind of doesn't really work that way. You can't just throw money. You can't just pay for a studio, pay for fucking whoever, and just blow up and make money. Like it don't work. Like if it worked like that,
Yeah.
there's a lot more lucrative shit going on than it's actually very hard to be successful, at least not to be successful, but it's very hard to hit that super peak like Jay-Z mogul type. Like it's very hard to be up there. That's why he's like one of the only, is he like the only hip-hop billionaire? I mean, Kanye was there, and then
Kanye, and then don't forget Dr. Dre.
he's a billionaire too.
Yes, because he had sold off Beats. That's what
Oh,
also
okay.
got him into the billionaire category.
Okay.
If I am
So,
correct, don't quote me on it, but that's what I
yeah.
do remember hearing about.
But if it is, that's three. We can't really count Rihanna. Shout out to Rihanna, but she's not really in that. You know what I mean? I salute to Rihanna, but it's just like we can't really count her, even though she's done some good features and shit. But it's
Yeah,
definitely only like three. So you know,
I hear you, my man. But speaking of, finding your levels and being able to continue to create this art that you do, we gotta talk about your name. So you gotta let us know. Like, has there been any like not only switches to names? So, was there any early conceptions of names that you went by? And then, what does your name mean?
all right. So what's funny is some people think I'm actually Serbian because my name is Serbs. Do I look like I'm from fucking Europe? What's so crazy? I'll never forget this chick was like, I thought you were Egyptian. I said, yo, what the fuck? Like, you need to get your eyes checked. You think I look Egyptian? I don't know. I don't buy that one. I don't buy that one at all. So with Serbs, that is like some dudes, they go through like a whole bunch of rap names, fucking Lil something, Lil this, Lil that, whatever the fuck it was. But Serbs was the first name that I had. And I didn't even name myself that. My cousin
Okay.
Mufasa, the one who got
Mm,
me into graffiti, he named me that. And he named me the name I had before that. So I went by Roic. That was
okay.
rolling on every corner. That was fucking a whole bunch of fucking stupid ass names. I had, acronyms and shit.
I love acronyms. That's why. But continue.
So rolling on every corner, that was ROIC, but then I got caught, so that one got burned out.
Mm.
Surge, no Serbs, SCRBS, Surge. Yeah, it's a little different, but so ROIC, I got caught with that, got burned, and so my cousin, he was like, you need a new name, dog. That ROIC shit, that shit is whack, you know what I mean, or whatever the fuck. Like, we need to give you a new name. So he was just thinking, and he was like something with an S. He was like, serve, Serbs. He was like, that's fire, and he wrote it SURBS. And so
Mm.
I started writing Serbs. Serbs was my graffiti name, and so Serbs from the Burbs. I'm actually not from the Burbs. That's funny. Some people actually think I'm from the suburbs. I'm definitely not. I definitely wasn't. I stay in the burbs now, but definitely wasn't raised around the suburbs. Um, what is it? So yeah, then I see my cousin write Serbs SERBS,
Yeah.
and then I kind of it was my graffiti name. So I was like, I'm not gonna fucking make a whole new identity. Like, fools be naming themselves like crazy shit that like they made up. Like, fools be
Yeah.
really making up their own names, like fucking Batman or like some shit like that. Like, why you name yourself some weird shit like that, bro? Like, don't be naming yourself or like no disrespect, but like Doom. That's a dope name because he actually created his whole musical
Mm-hmm.
aesthetic and all that shit around that. That's fire. But when
Yeah.
you just pop out talking about I'm the Joker or something like that because I laugh a lot, like that's kind of corny. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
search for my fucking graffiti name, and I got
Mm.
all around the motherfucking city, especially my block.
Yeah.
It was kind of like I was like going crazy for like a little bit. Um, but I was always scared of like going like on top of billboards and shit like that. I never had the balls to do none of that crazy shit. I actually knew somebody who tagged up a billboard, and when he stepped to look back, he stepped off of the ledge and he fell into the freeway. So, I was never super into
Mm.
that dangerous, high profile graffiti, but like real low key shit I was. Um, so
Yeah.
just taking that into the music. Serbs originally was like smoking every reefer bag, stupid. Uh,
Okay.
and that was corny. So one day I thought of like 10 of them shits, Supreme Engineer redefining balanced sound, sever enemies, repeatedly bash skulls, a whole grip of fucking names. But the name that I pretty much found and I like now for sure is uh, uh, steady elevation reaching beyond serenity.
Ooh.
Yeah. And if you're into like the supreme mathematics and the nations of the gods and
Earth.
earth, my
Yeah.
name in that,
5%ers.
yeah, my name in that is self equality, ruler born savior, which is fire too, you know?
Mm.
So that's my whole thing is kind of like just now that I'm like more like clear minded and I'm sober now, it's just now I'm on like more being like self conscious and like one with the universe. Not to make it sound corny, but it's just kind of
Yeah.
like being more conscious of the fact that like you got to put out, you get what you put out. So now I'm just trying to put out peace and prosperity. That's my whole shit now.
Yeah. And we got to redefine that because honestly, that's definitely not being corny. That's coming to the realization of life and finding balance and wholeness. And if wholeness is being corny, guess what? Then I'm gonna be the number one stand for that because I rather be whole than have multiple holes missing. I'd rather be whole than that.
Yeah, man. A lot of people uh fall into some dumb shit, or not like fall into dumb shit, but it's just kind of like a lot of people. There's too many distractions in the world. Like a lot of people, they like partying all the time or being on social media 24/7 and shit like that. And like
Mm.
I feel like a lot of people fail to forget that it's like all of that is contributing to your consciousness in your day of life. So if you spend all day on social media, like I feel like that's like super unhealthy. Or if, it's the same thing if you eat like junk food all day. If you eat junk food all day, it's not good for your body, which in
Yeah.
turn affects your mind. So it's all about what kind of like what you consume and what you're like aware of. Knowledge. This is the first thing, knowing what's
Yes.
going on, and then you could do the rest. After that.
Now, knowledge itself is definitely the foundation.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm super big into that too. Uh, After reading the Wu-Tang manual, shit was fire. You ever read that book, the Wu-Tang manual?
I have not.
Fire.
No.
It's basically RZA. He basically breaks down the whole 36 Chambers album, where he was, the
Mm.
mathematics. He breaks down the Supreme Alphabet and like
Those nine, is it like 9 or 12 different like aspects that he was talking about, like the love, peace, like they came in threes.
Oh, that's no, he didn't talk about that. I know what you're talking about, but he didn't
Yeah.
have that in the book. The
Okay.
the Wu-Tang manual was pretty much like he literally, because you know how they used to call Staten Island Shaolin,
Shaolin.
the Brooklyn Zoo and all. He literally had a fucking map of New York and all the slang names they had for each
Mm.
part. So it's pretty much RZA mapping out like everything, all his ideas and shit from the first album and everything that was going on around them. And he literally has like 4 pages dedicated to all the slang, like the woolly, like a buck 50 or some shit like that. Like, but all their slang, like, it's crazy. It's a fucking crazy but awesome read.
Okay. Something else to put on the book list to read. All
Yeah,
right,
it's
I
fine.
got it. Man, speaking of that, I might have one question, and then we're gonna jump into a segment that I like to do with folks. So before we
All right.
end up doing that, since we've been talking about not only influences, but then our own background history, our creative, drives, and what's really pushed us into there. I know being an artist and creating is a continuous movement. Like you're continually moving. It's hard to just sit and stay in one spot when creating something, even when you're in the studio or you outside. I'm not gonna even lie to you. Yesterday at the 909 day, I had moved to the side and kind of went outside and actually started writing bars because of how crazy a lot of folks was going in on their sets. But I want you to speak on a time where you were in a creative zone that surprised you, like you didn't expect, like you went in with little to no expectation, but maybe like I'm probably going to write this amount, and then you came out with 10 times or even plus more than you would have got going in.
Like, just like as far as writing a song?
It could be writing a song, I mean, coming up with an idea, a concept, and then it all kind of getting fleshed out, like out of, again, your creative process.
Honestly, just being inspired just happens out of nowhere. I can't even really pinpoint it, but like it's just that spark has to come, and when that spark happens, like my homie sent me a beat, and like I had just came out of work and shit, so I'm ready to go home and shit, and it was a fire beat, real soulful sample, had like a lady singing in the background, and it was real melodic,
Yeah.
but it inspired me to kind of like be introspective and think about like my life. And I've always wanted to do this. Like I talk a whole bunch of like gun bars and all this lyrical miracle shit. But what I really like doing personally is talk about my life and what I've been through. I feel like that's what um, other people can easily resonate with, and I feel like
Yes.
that connects me with my music more. Like it brings more longevity to the record. When you listen back, you're like, oh, like I don't know how the truth. I don't know how some real life stories are gonna be, like played out, or like when you listen back at songs, you're like, oh fuck, this sounds dated.
Yeah.
But when it's real, you're like, damn, like that's why soul songs like from the '60s or whatever are so dope, because you're like, it's always like some real shit, and you're like, damn, this is good now. Whether it be like Michael Jackson or Isaac Hayes, something like
Yeah.
that, Sam Cooke. So he sends me the song, and I just get to thinking about my cousin. And literally the first couple bars I wrote was, when my cousin died, I cried 1,000 tears, smoked 1,000 blunts, drank 1,000 beers. And just, I sat with that for a little minute, and I probably wrote like the whole song within like 10 minutes. Like I just locked in. I hadn't even left work. Like I clocked out. I got in my car. I played the beat and fucking in the car, and I just wrote the song like right there. And I just look up at the time. I'm like, fuck, it's been 10 minutes. I just wrote the whole song, and I just went home. So it's not. I get them inspirational pockets. Like it happen any time. You know, I could be working. You know, and I think of like 4 bars, like a whole like scheme of things. Write that, put that in the tuck, put it away. But it's just really like more so just living life and being around good energy or just having like, you know, a moment of like spark, and that just creates this whole wave of song or whatever it is, lyrics.
Yes.
You know, it can happen at any time, man. There's a whole bunch of moments like that too, but that was definitely one off the top of my head I for sure remember. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, man.
Of course.
It's very important because of, again, it's not always necessarily a set time and always a set structure of, oh yeah, I'm gonna sit here and now we're gonna write this many bars here and there. It's learning how to use that creative flow whenever it comes in and really sit with it, even if it's, again, being at a grocery store, you sitting in the car and then that happens 10 minutes. For other folks, really being outside and actually putting those lyrics into what they're saying while they're sitting outside somewhere, it's where it can just hit you at any moment in time. And I think that's not only a very important piece to remember, that's really how life moves. It always flows. It's not, okay, yeah, the tides are going to come in at this time every single day at the same time. No, it's going to have variations depending on, you know, influence from the previous day or it coming from winds on this side to that side. Everything is always ever changing. So it's important to know that that's just how a process can go too. It's not always one.
Yeah, creativity is definitely not on the schedule.
Nope.
It's like, you know, being an artist is like not a 9 to 5 thing at all. It's just whenever it happens, it happens.
Yes.
But
yes.
For me, I'm always kind of consistent, you know. It's just never like, oh, okay, at 3 o'clock it's creativity hour, and fucking, you know, it's I could wake up and be inspired. I could fucking sometimes at night I feel like on full moons, which is a weird thing, on full moons, that's when I'll get like some sort of energy. Not to be like a fucking tarot mystic person or some shit. You know, these girls out here, every girl is a tarot reader now. Can I do a reading for you? Like, no, you can't. What the fuck? I barely know you. What the fuck? You gonna fucking flip some cards and tell me about my life, bitch? Get the fuck out of here.
Goodness.
But yeah, definitely the full moon is definitely, I noticed, like, I'll bang a whole song out, you know. And I'm big into astrology and shit too, but I don't even want to get into that shit. But it's just like, you know, I'll be here another whole extra hour just talking about some shit. Nah, this ain't that. But definitely full moons, you know, just creativity flows. And it's like lightning in a bottle. You just got to capture it whenever it comes, because there's definitely been times where I was like, I thought of some shit, and I know I could have like just locked it in and wrote more music, but I was like, I'll get to that later. And then later happens, and I'm like, oh, well, fuck it, I don't feel like it. And then there it went. You know, there was that one little time, you know, you could have just tapped in, but, you know, for whatever reason, whether you got to work or do something, you know, it just, and sometimes it either passes you or you take advantage of that and you roll with it.
Very true. But who knows? We can come back to this if ever in the future you drop in more projects, and I'll have you back on so we can actually go through a detailed breakdown of a project if you want. I just started doing it for the alumni. So after this interview, you are a More Interviews alumni. So you're more than
Oh,
welcome
for
for
sure.
that too.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do another one.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Speaking of not even supposed to be on schedules or any type of time, now I'm gonna take a quick break from these questions, and now I'm going into a segment which I like to call fun questions.
Okay.
I'll call them fun questions. For me, it's fun. It may not be fun for y'all, but again, it's fun for me. So this is not only a time for where these are for you to answer, but also whoever's here with us in the comments, and even y'all that's later on watching this. These are questions that y'all could even answer and also ask to yourself. So, we ready for them?
Let's do it.
All right. I always love doing a would you rather, so I got a would you rather to start it off. So,
Okay.
would you rather start a conversation by speaking a rap lyric with a mini mic in your hand, or would you rather stay silent until someone says your name or a secret phrase you created? So it'd be like you could also they could be talking to you, but if they don't say your name or say anything, they might think like you just not paying attention to them and you being mean until they say your name or some phrase.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, that's a confusing ass would you rather, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I gotta make it confusing just so it's not one easy one. I like to do it because I want to make it easy. So would you want to start off rapping to somebody for a conversation, or would you
I feel
stay
like I do
silent?
that already. I before I even say what's up to somebody, I said 1, 2, 3 to the four. Snoop Doggy Dogg, Dr. Dre. They're like, "What the fuck you talking about?" I'm rapping, bitch. What the fuck? Fuck you mean? You know
Well,
what I mean?
there go your answer then.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely. I'll probably end up. I like doing that shit too. Like, like finish the lyric type shit. Like, I don't know whatever.
Are you looking at my questions? Because then, okay,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
hilarious. You must somehow got a connection to some of these questions I got, but go for it.
Hey man,
Ah,
I come from a family of brujas, so I'm not surprised, man. I'm really clairvoyant. You feel me? I'm tapped in with the universe, bro.
no question about it at this point. No question at all. My goodness. But yeah, anybody else? Again, y'all put y'all's down in the comments. Would y'all rather rap to somebody for their first bar to start your conversation, or stay silent until somebody says your name or a phrase that you came up with? So either way, either you're gonna rap or be silent. Second
And
one I
when it's
got for
funny,
you.
it's
Go
funny
ahead.
too because at work, and I don't know if you could relate to this, but at work, a lot of people are like mad stiff. They don't want to say hi to you. They're fucking like real like people are always like on edge. I feel like, or I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with people? So literally, I'll just say like I'll be like, "What's up, bro?" I'll be like, they'll say hi or something. Be like, "What's crack a lacking?" And
Yeah.
I'll just hit them with a whole bunch of shit. What's crack a lacking? What's going
Yes.
down in Hash Brown Town? Would it really be in the Philippines? You know what I mean? What's really clocking dough down with the Eskimo? And they'll be like, "Are you like just fucking rhyming or what the fuck?" I'm like, well, shit. You know what I mean? And I save that shit for people who look like they're having bad
Yeah.
days or something like that, because it's like gotta break up the fucking the monotony of the whole workspace. Like I don't like working like that, like around stiff energy. Like I like people knowing that I'm real cool and like you don't have to be, because like some people like might say like I come off intimidating and shit like that. So I kind of like want to break the ice like that with some people.
Yes. Okay. And that's also just very observant of you. Because
Hmm.
I will say there are folks that are like that I have worked with. But I mean, but again, it's your personality that definitely shines, and that makes it either easier for folks to enjoy their day if they want to, or if they just want to stay as stiff as they do, then you're just like, okay, there it is. You're gonna be stiff as a board, chilling, doing whatever. So somebody come across you, you be giving them the stank face, but it's just because you just feeling stank yourself. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I don't like being around that energy because that energy then, because I'm a real what is it like
Are you
Like,
an
yeah,
empath?
empathic. Yeah, like if
Mm-hmm.
you're fucking a Debbie Downer, then you'll make me Debbie Downer and shit like that. So it's kind of like I gotta create that energy, put it out, so I could get that back. So like, you know what I mean? A lot of people I work with, you know, they'll probably say like I'm cool, I'm funny, and this and that and shit like that. Yeah, probably just because I don't like fucking weird energy. Like I just don't accept that. I don't accept no types of negative. Like I could give a fuck what you're going through, bro. Like when we're gonna be around each other, it's gonna be like positive and like real cool. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? A cool vibe.
Okay. There it is. Setting the tone. I feel
Yeah,
it. We got a question from someone in the comments. Shouts out to my brother Reflection Error. He said Alicia Keys or Lauryn Hill.
I definitely say Lauryn Hill, but you can't argue against. It started when we were younger. You were mine. You know what I mean? You
Of
know,
course,
yeah,
I'm gonna go into
but
that.
weigh that against the whole miseducation
Lauryn
of Lauryn Hill.
Hill.
I gotta say Lauryn Hill all the way. You know, Drake fucking sampled her, bro. Like, come on now. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Alicia Keys' first album and like but her first album with her on the front of the cover with the keys holding it up. That album was crazy.
yeah.
I think it's
I haven't
like
heard. To be honest, I haven't heard it. Yeah,
think it was the 88 Keys of Alicia Keys. I'm not too sure, but like yeah,
yeah,
that was a tough one, but I'm with you on that one. Lauryn Hill for sure.
yeah,
So many
bro. Like,
quotables.
talking about X Factor,
Yes.
Fuji Live.
Fuji.
You know, like Lauryn Hill is just like I feel like more she's like a real international thing versus Alicia Keys is real either R&B or hip hop 2000s. Lauryn
Yeah.
Hill is really like she's like who can be what's that most famous song by the Fugees everyone knows?
You
Uh
talking about Ready or Not?
that's another one, but
Okay.
struggling my pain when
Okay. And that was a rendition of a previous
right?
song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a cover. That people
Yes.
don't know that. People actually know
Yeah.
that's a cover.
Killing Me Softly.
Killing Me Softly. There we go. But that's what I'm saying. Her voice is so like just her as an artist. She's so dynamic that she made the cover of a song nobody even was like privy to. That's kind of like what is it by Sean Paul? I'm Still in Love. People don't know I'm Still
Yeah.
in Love the cover also.
Yes.
So I really love the fact that you bring that. Uh, I love when artists bring out like the covers and like so you could do the math and you go back to oh shit this is like not even like an original song. This is you know
Yeah.
so you go backwards and then that artist gets recognition. You know
That's
I
the
fuck with that all the way.
That's the art of sampling too. That's why I love when folks be doing the sampling because if you are keen to the ear of what they're sampling in the songs, it not only goes back it to credit those artists, but it just goes to show you how much hip hop has been influenced, while at the same time nods back to give the homage and influence.
Hmm. Yeah,
Because that's what hip hop culture is. It's really a remix culture. If you want to really think about it.
yeah. We flip shit.
Yep.
We flip. This culture is really like you know even with like the fashion shit. Like I think Gucci they even said we don't like when fucking we didn't make our clothes to be worn by these groups of people and it's like well we didn't give a fuck
Yeah.
like you don't dictate the culture like the culture dictates what the fuck it is like we don't need nobody's permission. Like our culture is like infamous for being like we don't give a fuck, and we're gonna take this shit whether like you like it or not, whether it be fashion, whether it be music or whatever it is. That's what I feel like is so beautiful about hip hop. It's like we make it our own thing, and like you know, even Michael Jordan. I think Nori said this on Drink Champs, but he was like, "Yo, Michael Jordan was like fuck hip hop or something like that," and everyone still
Mm-hmm.
wears Jordans and shit like that. It's
Yeah.
like I don't personally wear Jordans, not because he said fuck hip hop, but I just don't think they're cool looking shoes. Like
I've never owned a pair of Jordans in my life
me neither.
at all.
250, 250, yo, that's like halfway. That's half price for a gun right there. Two pairs of Jordans Jordans, that's a Glock 17, bro. Come on now. That's
Mr.
a
Gun
sick,
enthusiast over here. Greenlight 3, go put the
that's a sick P226 right there, bro. What we talking about over here?
226. Oh my goodness. Yeah, 223, a 45, a 9.
I name
I'm done.
I name all that. I'll name all that shit. I'll be in the barbershop talking all this gun shit, and they'll be like, "Yo, what the fuck are you talking about right now?" Like, what are you talking about right now? What you mean? You know what I mean? You don't know. Just because you don't know this shit, you know, I feel like some of the time, like the same way I be talking about guns,
Yeah.
is if like someone started talking about like geometry or some shit like that. Like that's a foreign concept, bro. Don't be talking about the area of a fucking rhombus, square, and all this shit. Like, you know,
Isosceles triangle, you
yeah,
know.
like all that shit. Like, you could keep that. But I'm super into guns, which like influenced the album for sure. Yeah,
Yes. Which
for sure.
which we are definitely getting our way there. Another question I got for you is just random. Whatever comes to mind is an answer, but this is a random question, so I thought it up. All right, what are 3 reasons why the chicken crossed the road?
He was fat. He had one leg, and he wanted I don't know, a cup of water at 7-Eleven. You know, 7-Eleven's always at the
Always
end of the
every
street, right? That's why the chicken crossed the street, bro. Because homie had the fucking the Optimos for him or some shit, bro. You know what I mean?
I'm with that. Appreciate that. All right. Speaking of crossing the road and going to places, what are 5 places on your list that you want to visit?
Oh man, I've already visited China, Hawaii,
Ooh.
Mexico. So I feel like at this point everything else is a fucking bonus point. Um,
Mm,
but definitely Germany. My grandfather served in World War II, so
okay.
I'd want to be in Germany to see where he was at over there. France. He lived in France with some chick. I don't think they got married, but this chick he was with in France. She was into the whole designer, and she was like really high maintenance. And my grandfather, this is probably
Mm,
like in the 40s, like late 40s, early 50s. He was like, "You too expensive for me. You want all this shit I can't even pronounce.
yeah.
Like I'm from Mexico. This shit, you know, you can't." You know, one outfit in France, like of designer shit, is
Yeah.
probably like a month's worth of food in Mexico. 2 months, some 3 months. I don't know how crazy it is. But if we're looking at like the times,
Yeah.
definitely like, you know, so France, Germany, I want to visit Colombia,
Okay.
Brazil,
Okay.
and you know, probably Africa, you know, for sure. But Africa's a fucking continent.
I mean, again, but all right, specifically a country in
Yeah.
Africa.
Probably like Tanzania
Okay.
or Egypt. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
My man's know his worlds, his countries and stuff. He didn't end up saying that Mexico was at the top of the US, you know? I mean, seeing these different, again, YouTubes of folks asking where different geographical areas are, and folks is extremely off.
Yeah, man. Don't a YouTube will have you convinced that Earth is flat and fucking the sky is fucking really brown. It just when the moon hits the water and all this. Yeah, yeah. Don't subscribe to none of that
Boom.
bullshit.
Since speaking of different lines and don't be subscribing to stuff, I have a random line for you to finish.
Let's do it.
So finish this line. It's never complicated. We just
It's never complicated. We just got to think about it. Boom. Because I have anxiety, so I already know. I already know how it goes, bro. You know.
mm,
So it's just taking a moment, chill the fuck out, breathe, gather your thoughts, collect yourself. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing too complicated when you think about it, except calculus, because that shit is real complicated. I'm not gonna lie. My cousin took that shit, and I was like, yo, he only had like one problem for homework.
yeah.
And this shit was some crazy shit. I said, yo, I can't help you with that, bro. Like, there's no way.
He was running computer code at that point.
Who was?
Yeah, what you just said about him doing calculus, like you said, if it was looking like that, I don't know if
Oh
any of
yeah,
y'all have ever done like you on the computer, you can do a little quick on Windows, you can go to run.exe and then you just like type in some stuff you're trying to fix and it'll just run this code of
oh
just
yeah,
numbers and
oh
different
yeah,
things and stuff like that.
yeah,
So I was like, he was just doing
definitely.
code at that point.
Yeah, like the way he solved it, he had like a whole fucking page. He filled like a whole section of the page. I said, yo, like what the fuck? And it was some simple shit, like what's the fucking like the diameter of this wheel or some stupid shit. I was like, yo, I can't. Fuck this. Now it did. Now that's some shit you're gonna need like some real uh, uh, fucking like Eastern philosophy yoga type shit to deal with that type shit. You know what I mean?
My goodness, you say Eastern philosophy.
You gonna
uh,
really need to tap into the fucking
oh my goodness,
the fucking
Buddhism.
Buddhist shit, the
Yeah.
Confucianism and that shit, but
Oh
you gotta
my
line
goodness.
yourself with the universe
Get your Wu Wei all together, you know.
straight up.
You are just hilarious. All right, and the last one I got for you for these fun questions, and we'll continue with the last bit of questions. I'm not gonna keep you too long, but again, I appreciate you, brother.
No, this is
So,
fire. This is fire.
so the next thing I got for you, this is a question and a thought. So, for all the experiences you've had so far, what is one word of wisdom someone told you or you heard that stuck with you?
I don't know if it's if it's something anyone told me, but just learning, going through life and learning and shit is definitely patience. You
Mm,
know, like fucking, you're not gonna have everything figured out now. You know, so you might as well not break your fucking, like hurt yourself trying to like move 100 miles an hour.
yeah,
Like that was my whole thing as a kid, like just moving super fast. I felt like I was moving too fast to be like to become an adult, or
yeah.
like I just felt like I knew everything when it's like really just learning patience and just living with that, bro. Because it's like, patience don't mean you got to sit around and wait for some shit. Patience means that gives you the opportunity
Yeah.
to collect yourself and build and carefully craft and look at whatever is going on in your life and figure it out. You know what I mean? That's probably number one
Hmm.
for me right now.
All right. I'm with that. Patience, y'all.
Hmm.
Mad important. But
Definitely.
but thank you for the segment. This was a segment of fun questions again. It was fun for me. Hopefully it was fun for you and fun for all of y'all. Again, y'all can go back and answer these questions. Even though I was gearing them straight towards Big Serbs, this is what's for y'all to answer as well too. So please put them down in the comments. Share all of your answers to all of these things. So appreciate you.
Hell
Now
yeah.
we hopping back in because we were talking about it earlier. So we're going to get in a bit into talking about the process. We're going to talk a bit about Greenlight 3 because
Hmm.
I don't know, you still, like you said, you're still working on it right now.
Well, it's
And
kind of
then,
done. It's kind of like already like it's 9 tracks. I'm mastering the last song. All I really got to do now is figure out if it needs more skits. Like, cause that's what I like doing. I just like finding little bits of audio bites and just kind of like making it like a great experience, more so than just like, oh, I don't want people saying, oh, this is a dope, these are dope, that's a dope beat, or those are dope lyrics. Like I want people to like enjoy the whole project and be like, yo, this album is fire. You know what I mean?
well, there it is. Before getting into talking about making it a dope album and experience, walk us through your writing process. Like, um, how do you make a song from start to finish?
Um, um, to be honest, I don't even think about it. It happens. I just write. If I feel like it needs a hook, if I feel like there's something I need to hammer home with somebody,
Yeah.
something that the listener could take away from, then I'll do that. But it's really just like whatever flows. I don't think about it too much. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, on this song, fucking, I gotta go conscious all the way with it, or I'm gonna go street all the way with it. Like, it's really like, cause life ain't like that. Life ain't one color. Life is all shades
Yes.
and tints, and everything ain't black and white. There's always them gray areas in the medium. So with the writing process, it's kind of like I'll find the beat. If I don't feel inspired, whoever sent it to me, I'm like, yo, I don't feel this beat. Or if I do feel the beat, it's like, I don't know, like, this is fire, but maybe I won't have nothing to write to it now.
Okay.
So I'll probably just keep it in the tuck. And like how I told you, I came out of work, listened to the beat, it made me think about my cousin, and I'll start writing. So something will inspire me to write the song, and that's the whole vibe I go with. I gotta feel the vibe. So um, with Black Magic Ratchet, that's one of the songs off the album.
Mm.
It's like that song is kind of it's a dichotomy of me just grinding and hustling and also being aware of like my life and like the pitfall. Like, there's so many nights that I could have like really been in like some fucking uh, uh, complicated situations. There's a lot of shit that I dodge. Like, I thank God every day. Like, when they say like you should have went the left instead of making that right. Like,
Yeah.
for a lot of times I went right. Like, I went the right way, and like shit could have went left, but it didn't happen like that. Like, I felt like God, He always guided me through my life. So
Yes.
with the writing process on that song, you know, whether it be a message or something, uh, I'll make sure to bring that home. Hustle through the city trying to make my chips. I got moves to make, trying to make my grip. Cops flying in the sky, hoping that I slip. Jewels rocking cause I'm fly, load the nine. I'm just a young man on the ab, on his grind. Came up in some shaky times, and yet I'm still going out for mine.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
that's a whole, that's something I want. Like, if you're not going to listen to nothing else, you need to listen to that. And that's everything. Like, the hook will definitely be everything else I'm trying to talk about. That'll
Yes.
be the point, and everything else is going to lead up to that. Or, like, you know what I mean? Basically,
I feel it.
my writing. That's my writing process for sure.
Okay. I appreciate that. Yeah. And I'll add this piece. I'm a very words person, as well as really studying the etymology of words at times. I'm not gonna say like, oh yeah, I'm a complete expert and stuff, but that's one area of how they name either the hook or the chorus, and where basically that's the heart
Hmm.
of what the song really is. And when I think of chorus, I say it's the core of us.
Hmm.
So if you can get that core together, and that's going to glue everything together, that's really mostly where everybody comes back to, as well as they call it a hook for a
Yeah.
reason. It gets people reeled in, it gets them paying attention. So it makes a lot of sense. Not only saying that's where most of the pieces of the information, besides of course from the bars, is going to give the details to the story, but that's the main portion to
Yeah.
eat
The
and
hook,
enjoy.
the hook is where everyone knows the hook. I love it when they call me Big Papa. Throw your hands in the air. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so many different songs that,
Yes.
like, the hook is what you really remember. So like, that's where I kind of put like, I don't make the hooks too like lyrical and shit like that. Like, a lot of the simple but like relatable bars is definitely like in the hook for a reason. You can't be fucking going crazy like on the hook, like, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
like super lyrical miracle type shit. Um,
Yep.
Even
Uh,
Big Pun, Big Pun had like super, packing magnums and Gatling guns is Big Pun. Like, he even had those simple real hooks where he wasn't going that hard. Like, it's just
yeah.
something that, as far as the writing process goes, you got to keep it real simple. You got to keep it fly, because that's what everyone's going to come back to.
Word is bond. Now, Next thing, you got to talk about it earlier, but now this is the point in time. If there's any more details and information you want to explain to us, especially of like when when it's dropping, other small pieces that you want to people to look forward to when it comes to the project. So tell us a bit more about Greenlight 3.
Greenlight 3, like I said before, is the third rendition of like all my beats up to this point. It's definitely my favorite album I put together. Just like based off the simple fact it was fun.
Mm,
You know, I didn't have no deadline. I didn't have none of that shit. Leading up to the end, I was like, okay, it's pretty much done by August. Let's just drop in September. You know what I mean? Um, Greenlight 3, if you had to be like, yo, what, like, if you had to put anyone on to my music and be like, yo, what's his album, or like what's his
yeah.
best shit, you'd be like, that's Greenlight 3 for sure, because the beats go everywhere, and like I go everywhere. I go talk about personal life. I talk about some gangster shit. I talk about um, you know, real conscious. I get real personal. Talk about like fucking. Living in anxiety, living with sobriety, like just the
Mm,
whole. It's a very. I'm giving you as much as I can about myself
yes.
without it coming off too like preachy or anything like that. And even the beats too. The beats go from like real simple to like soulful. Um, more R&B ish. Like I got like one kind of more R&B track on there to like super like underground, and kind of like that's kind of like my lane pretty much is like more boom bap ish underground, and that's what you'll definitely get out of Greenlight 3. It's pretty much everything I've been doing up until now, and I feel like I've just been taking my time to refine it.
Yeah.
A lot of my albums, it's kind of like as soon as the last track is done, I'll just put it out. Versus this one, I've been really taking my time with it, sitting it down and making sure like it sounds sonically uh, the best, and just putting it together like a craftsman, just hand like fine tuning everything and just making sure that it's bulletproof, like it's a bulletproof album. And now all I got to do is put like find the skits, uh, and just like the little tweaks and edits, uh, and
Yeah.
that's kind of like uh, where I'm at the stage with it now. So Greenlight 3 is like is definitely something that you're gonna want to listen to, because I definitely represent, like I've always wanted to be the voice that I didn't hear growing up. Like growing up, you had Chicano artists, or like you had to fit that Baby Bash pocket, or South Park
Mm,
Mexican or some shit like that, or like Kid Frost. Now to me that's just kind of corny.
hmm.
So I'm always just trying to represent my people the way I grew up and the way I was influenced. That's how you get me, and that's how you're gonna get this album. What makes the song, the beat, instrumental, or the lyrics? What's up, JBL? What do you mean? What makes the song, the beat, instrumental, or the lyrics?
So yeah, that's so he's asking. So what really makes the song? Is it the beat or is it really the lyrics?
It's everything. It's like uh, it's the whole completion of it, the whole vibe of it. That's really what makes the songs. I don't want you to listen and be like, "Oh, that's a dope beat," or "That's a dope fucking." Those are dope words that he's saying. Like, I want you to really. This is something I really want you to just put on some old school shit. Like, just vibe, whatever you do. Smoke whatever, drink. Just get. Just take the time out. Don't have the TV on. Don't fucking be on Instagram. Just like really sit with it and listen to it, because this is an album that I feel like I've played it around for people, and they're like, this shit is like it's gotten better reception than anything else that I've done. So I'm really
Mm,
proud of this album, and I hope everyone enjoys it. Yo, like Greenlight 3 is that album. It's pretty much me finding myself. Um, I went to Mexico again. I went to Cancun and just being over there, I was like, yo, I'm literally where my ancestors, the fucking the same roads they walked. I'm like
Mm.
where all my peoples, this is where they're from. Like this is literally our land. And so that really put things in perspective for me. So Greenlight 3 is that album for sure for me.
Rapper, you didn't even know. He put some bars right there at the end. I think that's really dope, and that's a good point to say it's a combination of things. Because if not, it would just be just the instrumental. It would just
Yeah.
be just called the lyrics. When you
Hmm.
play, when you place them and put them together, that's when you come with the song, or you can call it um not a composition, but yeah, you composed something. You put that together. You don't call a composer because they just go and get the instruments and then that's it.
Hmm.
There is an act that's being done there.
Yeah, I recorded 15 songs for it, and I chopped it down to nine
Mm,
because I felt like, oh, maybe I said this better on that song, or maybe this beat don't really fit the vibe. You know, every song is hard hitting for sure. Like the first song is definitely more mellow and shit, but after that, it's just nothing but fucking what is it like? How do they say? Like just bangers on that shit
yeah,
the whole way. Um so pretty much it's like all like if I even thought, oh, this is just an okay beat, or maybe this is an okay song,
yeah,
I wouldn't have put it on. Exactly. Quality over quantity, bro.
yes,
Like I didn't like this is what a lot of artists do though. They'll make one hit and put like 10 songs with it on an album. Like that's not an album. I was never one of those artists like, oh, let me just like let me chase that single. Like I don't want nobody being like, oh, did you hear that? That's that album? Yeah, I heard it. I just like this song, you know. Or I like that one song. Oh, you mean the most famous fucking song that came out like a year ago already? Like, no, man. Like, I want everybody to be like, fucking front and back. That album is banging for sure. You know, I'm gonna have it on CDs. I don't know about vinyl. Vinyl's a little pricey, but for sure, I'm gonna have it real limited. Like, I think I only want like 30 copies or like 33 copies of it out. Like, very limited. Um,
okay. Any streaming platforms?
yeah, I'm gonna put it out on all streaming platforms for sure.
Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
okay,
But limited physical copies because I really want the listeners to physically have something and so you could say like, yo, this is, this is my homie, like this is like Serbs, like this is his shit and I have it, like this is 1 out of 33, or this is number 9 out of 33. Like you really got it a limited
yes,
value, and it'll be dead stock too. Like I'm not gonna fucking like
yes.
repress it for sure. It'll be like a one of one type thing.
Well, there it is, y'all. I'm with it. Okay. And speaking of Greenlight, I just want to at least make a nod to the three tracks that you did send me.
Hmm.
One of them, did you perform it when I went to go and actually record you? I think it was the first track on the project. I feel like you have performed that one for that night.
I sent you
Versa
Versa Box
box.
Brawler.
Mm-hmm.
What else did I send you? I sent you
Oh,
Oro, which
just
is
gold.
gold.
Yeah.
Um, and did I send you Ain't Enough? Was it Ain't Enough?
Think so. You sent me 1, 2, and number 9.
Yeah. Okay, so I sent you Versa Box Brawler. I never performed that
Oh,
one.
okay.
What's up, Kylan? What's cracking? I never performed that one. Ain't Enough is the one I performed, but I don't think you filmed it. You didn't film those.
That's all.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, but one again for the first song that I heard, I felt like I heard that chorus. That's why I was just like, wait, did I hear this one already? That's why.
Oh, the first one doesn't have a chorus. Oh no, actually it does. Yeah. The Trey 80 make
Bet you, yeah,
yeah, the Trey 80 make a hater holler,
back,
bet you bottom
body,
dollar,
body.
versus box brawler, Gualamami made in Guatemala. Yeah. I never performed that one. Ain't Enough I performed, but you didn't film.
Okay.
Um and then Oro was like I never performed that one either.
Okay.
So I really wanted to give you like the beginning and the end of the album.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Which I'm definitely was digging Ordo. I mean, the beats, honestly, again, they were on point. Once you already told me, okay, you are producing the beat, so I was like, okay, yeah. So again, the production is on his side. Like you're crafting the whole experience, and I can hear it already. You only gave me beginning part of again the first half, and then the last end of just those 3 tracks, just to get again a teaser. So
Yeah,
I like what I'm hearing so far.
I appreciate it, man. That's a third of the album. Got the homie Jada OG. Shout out to him. He was on some Jay-Z shit, bro. Like he's like really dope. He's somebody like I was like he could fit the project. And when he came through, I was like, oh, like you got your rhymes on your notebook or some shit like that.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I forgot my notebook at the house. So I was like, all right, so what the fuck? Like, what are we gonna do? He's like, oh, I have it all up here. And he just like Jay-Z that shit. Like it took him like 3 takes, but he did the whole thing like on like the 3rd take, and it was fire. So he's the only one featured on it. So yeah, it's a sick ass album for sure. Like every like I can't even say like every track are identical to those because I just go everywhere. I will say though, you filmed me performing Unorthodox Glots, Pocket Rocket Change, and Copper Jackets, and those 3 are on there as well.
Okay.
So you pretty much heard like most of the album already, like 6 songs already off of it. You listen to 3 that I sent you, and then you filmed 3 that I performed, which I appreciate. By the way, I didn't even think you was gonna not that I didn't think it was gonna pop up, but like when you told me you came from Hawthorne, bro, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That was me. I'd be like, yeah, I ain't gonna go. What the fuck? What you talking about?
I'm a person of my word, man, and you reached out back before the summer when we were when you first I saw you up there at Firewater and you had asked. I remember some of those dates that you were saying. So then I was just like, oh yeah, man, I could definitely do one of those. Just keep me on track with it. So for me is if I'm telling you I'm gonna do something, especially nowadays, I'm making sure I keep my word with it. So
yeah, I appreciate it, man. You took dope flicks. You took the videos are impeccable too. I have them. I'm gonna drop them on YouTube soon. And that's another thing too. Like I never really like with the album rollouts. I wasn't too big on that. Like previously, but definitely this one. I'm gonna start rolling out the album after Friday on my next show because I never like when people like the new album coming out next summer or like fucking spring 2025. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like,
it's a movie.
Like, I ain't gonna wait. Like, what are you talking? Like, that ain't like
coming this fall.
Yeah, bro. Like, what you talking about? Like, I don't like that shit. I just like telling people I got an album on the way, and I like keeping you in suspense. I'll do the shows.
Yeah.
Like I've kind of been silently promoting it. Like if you've been coming to my shows, I've been saying Greenlight 3 is coming, it's coming. I haven't been tweeting that much about it. Been tweeting, I've been working on it, but really at the shows, if you've been following all my shows, like I pretty much performed like 4 songs, like almost half the album already on stage. What is it? So now I'm just gonna bombard everybody with videos and just promote the fuck out of it for sure. Starting next week, just give everybody like 2 solid weeks of content. Just get everybody ready and just blitz everybody. And so when it drops, it'll be like boom, like a real short but a well crafted like 2 weeks of an album rollout, and then y'all finally get it.
There it is. There it is. The man with the plan. Yes, he is.
Right.
JB, peace and love.
I'm doing an album with JBL too. Me and him, we got some crazy shit in the works, man. I was working on the album with the album M.O.R.E doing and Greenlight 3 at the same time. So I stay doing music, bro. I've been making 2 albums at a time. That's I don't know. That's on some Gemini shit for me. Just 2 at a time, bro.
I'm
Two
look.
bitches, 2 guns,
Oh my goodness. Nate the Great
two
was
phones,
good. 2 phones. All
two
right, Kevin
phones.
Gates. Don't start because look, I got one right here, and then we're on this one right here. So I hear you. You got 3 at this point.
Oh yeah, I got another one too in the closet.
Yeah, 333 again. All these
Hell
the
yeah,
synchronicity with these numbers, these angel numbers and things.
fuck
What's going on, Nate
yeah,
the Great? Peace
what's
and love to
cracking?
you, brother.
Peace.
Yeah. Yes. I'm looking forward to it then, man. There's more. There's just more to come out with. Right. With that being said, I got 2 more questions for you, my G. And then after that, man, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming through and being able to share not only your art, but also your experience with us and just being really dope and down to earth. So I really do appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man, I appreciate the opportunity. I definitely took the time out to do this because you're the first person to interview me. Like I'm always the person interviewing. I'm always like the person giving the look. So the fact that I could just sit back and be the guest on the show is fire to me. Like this is what I've been waiting for, to just kind of like tell my story and share with the audience, whoever the listeners,
Yes.
like my upbringing and all that. So I just love the fact that we could just break it all down here, like from a real good homie, um, a real genuine connection
Yeah.
from the people.
And that's how we want to do it. I mean, it's to
Shout
my
out, bro.
attention. Yes. Man, you got a new fan over here. Oh yeah, Nate the Great is also fired too. So shouts out to Nate the Great as well.
Hell yeah.
Man, repping New York to the fullest. I'm not gonna say all the borough stuff because again, I'm gonna get in trouble with folks. So y'all shout out where y'all at. So I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah,
Harlow,
you say one borough wrong, and it's like, nah, man, shoot, nah, I ain't from BX. Nah, you don't say that, man. Shoot, I'm Brooklyn. Like, nah, I'm from Staten. So I leave it where I leave it. So you call where you at. But speaking of that, G, outside of music, because said it before that, I mean, as you were earlier alluding to, is graffiti and other aspects of art outside of music. What were some other hobbies that brought you joy?
Painting.
Queens, there it is. Queens in the building. All right, exactly. Got again. Bam, over here in Myrtle Beach, we got Beverly Hills. All right, people is just chatting where they at. All right, wherever y'all at, go ahead, put it down in the comments.
Oh,
I
for real?
appreciate it.
I didn't know this was
Yes.
the fucking the fucking the drop your city.
I know. It just started happening after that. So
Beverly
hey,
Hills, Myrtle Beach, Queens. That's what's up, man. I appreciate it. We worldwide up in this bitch, man.
yes,
International in the building, or national, I mean.
yeah. Don't worry,
You know.
we'll get some international folks up in here. But yeah. So outside of music, what were some other hobbies that bring you joy?
Painting, man, art, artistic, bro.
Mm.
Always.
When'd you paint that?
Yeah. When did I paint it?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't even know, man. I've been on a roll. This is my new shit right here. I call this the Spiral series. Just
That looks
like,
fire.
just something about it is like real, like sacred geometric to me or something like that.
Yes. You on your
So pretty much,
Fibonacci.
yeah, man. It's basically like, graffiti is like mad like delinquent-ish, very immature.
Yeah.
So with painting really brought me like a joy where you just concentrate. This is the cover to my last beat tape. It's kind of like really focusing and painting and like my artistic expression versus like writing on fucking walls and shit.
Yeah.
That brings me joy, man. I have like I said, I'm a Gemini. I'm a Gemini moon. For anybody who doesn't know about what the fuck a Gemini moon is, it's basically the way I think and communicate. I'm on like some Gemini shit. So, um, I fucking paint. I That's Daisy in the Rain 3. Daisy in the Rain 2. I fucking I wrote that on like plastic and then I threw it away. So I could remake the cover. I could. This is simple shit, bro. It's not like, you know what I mean. I'm not making the fucking Mona Lisa where I got to spend 2 years on this shit, bro. You know.
No,
Uh,
it's just you, and oh, I'm already done with that. Well, oh, it got erased, so hey, you never got to it. So well, hey, too bad. Like
yeah.
I'll make
That was
another one.
Daisy. Yeah, this is, yeah, I could do it. Fuck it, I don't care. This is Daisy in the Rain 3 because it's three daisies. The first one was just like this one. The second one were these two, and then the
Mm-hmm.
third one is
Yeah,
these three.
yes.
Yeah, JBL, you gotta fucking, you gotta stop smoking weed, bro. Come on now. No, I'm playing, bro. I'm not. Yeah, but
That's super sick though.
I appreciate it, man. Just painting is something that I've always been into, whether it be like in the street, but I really found it like on the canvas, um, really make something official.
Yeah.
That's something that brings me joy. I'm like I said, man. If I'm not constantly working and doing some shit, I feel like I'm gonna go crazy. So
Mm,
I got
yeah.
I got my koi fish. I take care of my koi fish. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, I definitely. Yeah, I know you don't smoke weed. That was the funny part. I'm like, I know where. Yeah, I know. I was just clowning. So my koi fish, I cleaned the water out. It was dirty. Every week, the pond gets dirty, so I clean the filter out. Put clean water in. Um, Hanging out with my dog. Cooking, baking,
Mm,
baking, playing Pokemon.
okay.
Uh, traveling and shit, just living life. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they're unhappy with life because they they don't have a passion, or they're
Right.
lacking some sort of enjoyment that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if anyone just like really like explored what they like doing, then they could find themselves in that. Because I found myself doing music
Yeah.
and painting, like this whole shit, like it's really like I owe a lot of what I've learned because of hip hop. I've met so many people through hip hop. I've done so many things because of hip hop and music, and just like everything about the culture is just really like made me as a person. And that's how I could say thank you to this culture, is by making and contributing and inspiring the next person. Because you know I was I was really lost, and just like the music and these hip hop artists, they've kept me like balanced. So that's what I want to be for the next person, to be like, yo, like when you said on that song, you know what I mean? Fucking, you was in a dark place or whatever, or you were talking about this, like, man, like I really related to that, and
Yeah.
that made me think, fuck it, like today's the day where I stop doing this, or I start thinking more about my life in this sort of light. So, just that's what brings me joy, is kind of like living life and being kind of like a positive role model, because I didn't have that growing up. The
Yeah.
cousins I had that took care of me and the role models in my life, a lot of them weren't good role models, bro. Like a lot of them
Yeah.
was just doing dumb shit. And I had some good role models in my life too, but that's what brings me joy, is sharing my art, sharing my creative expression, and knowing that people enjoy it. Because
Yeah.
if I only enjoyed it, and if I was like mad narcissistic and only putting out like clown shit,
Yeah.
then it wouldn't be fun. But the fact that it brings me joy, and I like other people can enjoy my art or anything that I do, I feel like that makes everything 1,000 times more worth it. You know what I mean?
That's beautifully said. It is. Again, and that's also showing not earlier on of you giving out your expression so that it can influence at the same time relate to others. So it's really in a sense also a selfless act, even though it's something like, oh, I need to, for me, man, I have to create to get this out. If not, I feel like I'm not gonna, I'm not contributing anything at all. But in your particular case, it's a full circle thing, again, finding that wholeness with all of that. So
Mm-hmm.
we
Yeah,
thank you for putting the stuff out that you put out.
I appreciate it, man. I
Yeah,
definitely, the love is definitely reciprocated. So that's all I ever want to do, um, is just give back. If I get it, I give it back, and that just makes everything worth it.
yeah. All right. The last two, which they wrapping up together. Funny thing is, you kind of answered one of them. One of my homies had said it, and I was just like, "Bro, not yet," because I like to end with it. But it's all good. But one of the questions I did put on a flyer, and I wanted to make sure that we get to it is: so, what are your thoughts on self-image as well as timelessness when it comes to music, your music, and just your life? So you can start off either self-image, timelessness, wherever you want to go with that.
Um, to be honest, I don't really look at my self image in in that, like, a lot of artists, they worry too much about how they are perceived in the world. Like,
Yeah,
everyone has the bape, everyone has the chains, everyone's in those stereotypical rapper type lanes and shit.
yeah,
And the way I conduct myself, my self image is just like, is I want to give you the most authentic me as possible. Like, I'm not gonna create a persona or some sort of character for you to buy into.
yeah,
It's like, I want I want you to relate to me as a person, and
yeah.
me as like, how however I like come out into the world and bring out my self expression. That's what I want you to relate to. So the whole self image thing. That's why I even wear the mask, like the Mexico
Mm,
flag over
mm-hmm.
my face, because I don't want you to look at me in the way that like, oh, like, is it gonna sell? Is it fucking? Is it gonna be? Is this something that, like, I always kind of like want to be counter to, like, whatever people think is like dope. I always want to give that like a new face. So
Yeah.
with the Mexican flag over my face, it's like I could be anybody. I could be, like, especially for all my Chicanos out there, all my Mexicanos out there, all my Mexican people, it's like I could be any one of y'all. Like, this could be you. That's like what I'm trying to say. Like, you could
Mm,
do this shit too, bro. Like just figure it out, and like, that's what it is.
I'm with it. What about timelessness?
Um, I feel like what was timeless is like, I don't know. I feel like the truth, you
Mm,
know, because I don't see how anything superficial or like any like bullshit or corny shit, like, that's never timeless. Like, that's always stamped. Like, you always see shit all the time where it's like someone does something dumb on the internet and you're like, that shit ain't timeless at all. You're looking at that like, yeah, that was their like Jackass. Like, you ever watch some like Jackass shit? You're like, yeah, that's early 2000. Ain't nothing timeless about that shit. Motherfuckers falling off of fucking rooftops and shopping carts and swallowing goldfish. No disrespect to none of the
yeah,
Jackass guys. That was a moment. That was dope,
yeah.
right? But that that goes to show you, like, that was the what was popular. That's why it's called pop, because
Mm-hmm.
popular. That's what was popular at the fucking time. But like, I go back to you go back to Isaac Hayes, or what's my dude, Curtis
Yes.
Mayfield. Um, that's timelessness for me, and that's what I want to create. I feel like I'm maybe not all the way there yet, but I'm on that road of timelessness, to where it's like, damn, like, this fool Serbs is like, he made something that'll definitely people like will go back to and listen
Mm,
to for years to come, for sure. And and I'm not even too concerned with that,
yeah.
and I don't even look at my music in that way. Like, oh, I need it to be this, I need it to be that. I'm just doing what I love doing, And if it happens to be, the fucking, like, what is it, what lifts me off into the stratosphere
Yeah.
or whatever it is, like, then, I'm with it all the way. But really, like, timelessness for me is just living in your truth and being you. A lot of people aren't them. A lot of people are like fucking caricatures of like something they made up in their mind or something like that,
Yeah.
or what, or what they want people to see them as.
Yeah.
I'm definitely the opposite.
Well said. Well said. And that's, again, it comes back to some, not only the philosophies and the teachings that you have, but really, again, the attention you have with your character. So
Hmm.
respects to you on that, for real.
Yeah.
And last but not least, again, thank you so much, brother, for coming through. I appreciate you. We're going to make sure you plug and share everything that you have before we head out. The last question I got for you, my homie already alluded to it earlier, but this is always a question that I like to end with. And I always have to shout out my homegirl, Busy Balboa, because
Okay.
when she interviewed me, when I started getting into this, I thought of and figuring out, okay, how can I end always an interview? What would it be? And she had one, it was called Passion or Pesos. So in my particular case, this is a question I think is always going to be asked throughout time, that you continually go down. It don't matter what century, year, or wherever we are. But very simple question, straightforward, is when it comes to your life, passions, your community, all that you're around, is it the quality or the quantity?
It's definitely the quality,
Mm,
because you can you can make all the whatever it is. You can make all the fucking paintings. You can make all the songs you want in the world. But what does it really mean? You
mm,
know, if you got 1,000 songs, you're just talking about shooting motherfuckers, dealing dope, fucking bitches, getting money. Okay, that's cool. But we've heard that many, many fucking times by way better rappers than you, probably. Whoever you
yeah,
are. Um. So it's like, what are you really saying? That's like really where the quality comes in. Like, yeah, you can always buy the cheap ass knockoff polos, but you know, it's obviously you got to spend that money. It's gonna cost you to get some high quality, whether it be Ralph Lauren
yeah,
or I like Lacoste, that the quality you could tell in the fabric, that quality. So I'm always like with that, the quality over quantity. I feel like that shouldn't even be a question. Like,
mm-hmm,
unless you're like dealing dope or some shit or have businesses or fucking some sort of like something like that where the quality is in the quantity, then
yes,
it's quality all the way. Like, but even then, it's still got to be quality. Like, even if you do have like 100 kilos, it got to be a hundred fucking raw uncut fish scale kilos. You know what I mean? It can't just be like that cut fentanyl and have motherfuckers falling out and shit like that. Like, you can't be, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's always without a question quality for sure. Like, you could find that medium though. It's always like
yeah,
it'll always be like quality, and then somewhere within that it'll be a quantity. Like, there's always one. It's not gonna be one without the other. It's always gonna be like a hand in hand type shit.
exactly. And JB over here laughing at your analogies and stuff over here, your examples.
Yeah, man. Just goes to show you a few things I learned in my life.
Uh, on display, y'all. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Big Serbs. It's been a pleasure. I'm really grateful for the time that you came and shared with us. Any last words, plugs, so people can look out for, and just anything you want to leave the people with?
I'm working on a whole bunch of music. I definitely got a secret business venture that I hope to announce soon. Just getting the capital for it to get it up and running. Um, Greenlight 3 is dropping September 29th. That is in 2 Fridays. So not next. So yeah, like
Yes,
not Friday, not that Friday, the next Friday, but like in 3 weeks pretty much.
yes.
The show is on Friday. If anybody could come out and see me in Ontario, I'm opening up for Chicano Syndicate. I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna perform pretty much every song. All the songs are gonna be performed. They're gonna be off of Greenlight 3. And um, shit, man, I'm just working, bro. I'm excited. You know what I mean? Shout out to my uncle, my tío, OG Bazaar Inc. That's what's up.
Peace, peace. All right. With that being said, y'all, again, thank you for everyone that came through, that shared questions, comments, answers.
Oh
We
yeah.
appreciate y'all for rocking. Again, big shout outs to Big Serbs coming through and just again putting his life and all on display for us to come and learn. So please, if you don't know who this brother is, please go check him out. Get well acquainted. Man, shoot DM, follows, do all of that because again, he got a lot that's being cooked up. Man, go subscribe on YouTube because I'm actually playing some of the songs and things in the background, and I'm just like, yo, this is sound freaking fire. So,
Hmm.
and just not just in just saying in a generic way, I could break stuff down, but again, it's very I can hear not only the quality, but again the intentionality behind the stuff. So, thank you so much, my G. Is all love and respect to you as well as much more successes for you to come.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for giving me the platform to speak on everything, man. And I wish you much success on this interview, on these interviews. This is dope. And anytime you want to talk more uh, about whatever, it don't got to be an album rollout.
Oh
Just
yeah.
whatever it is. You know what I mean? You can always hit me up and we'll figure it out, man. This is definitely dope. I fuck with this right here. This was it.
I appreciate it, brother, man. I'll be out in your neck of the woods October 7th if anything else calls me earlier to be back out there. But with that, y'all, gonna end that here. Thank y'all for all coming through. Again, Big Serbs. This has been another episode of More Interviews, aka Memoirs of Our Real Experiences. And as y'all are doing that, please continue to write your memoirs and continue to have your experiences so you can keep growing, keep working, and keep sharing your life. All right, y'all. Peace and one love. We out.
Peace.